Morning all, how are we doing? Lovely relaxing music, Peter, isn't it? Gets you ready for the day, brings you down. How are you all doing? Morning Danny, Andres, Stevie, JC, Soren, Sean, Virginia, Monkey Steve. Virginia, Monkey Steve, that's a good name. Ratty, Peter, Jerry, Sean. Loving the music too. It's got it, it's free stock music, I just found it, I don't know what it is. Morning Kennelly. Right, let's have a look at what's going on. Morning Evil, Christian. Basically, today is a no news day, really. We've got retail sales, or we've had retail sales for the pound this morning, which is positive. I said this yesterday, I kind of expected that to be positive anyway, because CPI has come down. So as inflation comes down, we get a little bit more money in our bank accounts. Therefore, we tend to spend a little bit more money. That's basically what happens. So I was expecting a positive figure. The market looks like it was expecting a positive figure as well, because there's not been much reaction to that at all. So the pound's had a little pop this morning, but there's nothing particularly exciting of the pound. So the only other news we got today is the retail sales for the Canadian dollar. That will be along the same sorts of lines. Probably won't get a lot of reaction. So news today is pretty flat. So basically anything can happen today. We had the Japanese CPI figure come out as expected, which is what normally happens. So nothing there. Overnight news, nothing much I could see. We had the CPI, as I said, which was an as forecast. We've had the retail this morning. That's it. So no news today, no news overnight. Might as well go home. There you go. There's live room. Thanks for coming. Banked today. Well, banked 2.5% yesterday. What did I bank today? Pound odd. Oh, I'm on it. There we go. Pound odd bank this morning. So that was this one here. That was the pretty quick in out. Go away. H1 RSI extension, M5 reversal alert. So these pounds, as I said yesterday when I got into these, some of these pounds, I've got exposure long on the pound, which I don't particularly like. I'm not a fan of this pound going up at the moment after those CPI figures. It doesn't mean you can't mean revert it. You can still mean revert things that are coming down, obviously, because they still need to take profit on those moves when they're pushing it in that direction. But just don't want to get greedy, yeah? So that the reason my target was there, you can see exactly where my target was there, which was just under yesterday's low, or the previous day's low, and under that double bottom, yeah? So the chances are we're going to react and pop to the downside, potentially. So we'll see what happens. But any pound pairs, like the pound Swiss, which I'm about to... I want to get out of that. It depends what's going on with the Swiss franc today. Again, same thing with this one. I'll keep an eye on it today. But actually, I've got too many positions on this, really. This is the one I took, which was too close together, wasn't it? I think I'm just going to take it. I'm going to close it out. Executive decision. I'm closing that out. Just because I just want to reduce my exposure on the pound. Might as well bank it 0.5%. In it. I've still got some pound on long. Might as well just stick that in the bank. Basically, it's just profit. It's highly likely. I think it's probably going to get up there and retest that area. But the only way it's going to get there is if this Swiss franc continues to be weak, which may or may not happen. So take it while you got it. Right, so that is news and what I've banked. There's no ADRs today, nothing to look at there, nice and easy. There's no RSIs today. Well, there is. There's a couple. There's US dollar Swiss, which is extended on the hourly. I'm in short on that as well. So I'm in long on it, and I've also taken a short on it there. RSI extension to the upside. So basically what I'm hoping for is a push up into there, add a second position, and then drop it. So that's extended to the upside. Pound CAD is extended on the 4 hour. That's it. I'm long on that already. And again, looking for a pullback on this. Going to need some Canadian dollar weakness to get that up there, I think, possibly. Maybe a little bit of pound strength. The pound might rally off the retail. And if it does, fantastic. But that's extended on the 4 hours. So that's a good mean reversion. Got 2 on that already. So that's it. That's your analysis done today. ADRs and RSI. There's nothing, because obviously everything that we've seen extended is playing out, which is why I've got 8% in the bank this week, because it's all the trades have worked, which is great. So yeah, there you go. Let's look at the DAX. So there's no gaps on the DAX at the moment. Yesterday, we basically had a bit of a rotation day yesterday. We just basically popped to the downside, popped to the upside, popped back down, and started back again. So we haven't gone anywhere. Previous day as well, we had a slight down day. We had a nice big up day before that. So at the minute, we are range bound. So the market isn't really able to break these highs. They're all like this at the minute. It's all a little bit, looks really, really bullish, but it's struggling. They're really struggling to get any momentum. So we'll see where we go this morning. We got 20 seconds to the open. So upside targets today, obviously, is yesterday's high. Downside targets will be yesterday's low. Very simple. Those are up. That's your down. And then obviously we'll see where we go from there. Let's have a quick look at what the pre-market range is. Pre-market range, fairly tight. So I've triggered long already. Wow, that's quick. And there's short entry if you're taking the pre-market 15. So fairly nice little tight range, not too tight. Goldilocks, just about right. So long entry will play up into that propulsion gap there. If it flips short, we'll be looking to go down into yesterday's low, or rather, well, yeah, it's yesterday's low. So let's see where we go. At the moment, not a lot of volume there, but we'll see. I'm just looking at the US markets to see if it's worth trying to take one on that as well. Might be worth a crack. Short. So just watching this low on the DAX as well. So stopped out on the long. No, I haven't stopped out on the long. That was close, nearly. Morning, everybody else I didn't say morning to. Morning, Rets. Have you run back from the gym? No, not today. No, this is just clothes. Sorry, do you not like my clothes? This isn't gym gear. This is just a top. Morning, all, John. That was yesterday, Virginia. Gym day's Thursday. Pound Yen, Ratib, we'll have a look at that. This isn't particularly exciting this morning, is it? So we've got 3 minutes left. We'll wait for this 5-minute candle to go in. Pound Yen. We're sideways range bound at the minute. So there's nothing. It's just sideways. Last entry on that was that short that I got out of. Haven't had an entry since. So if we get down to those lows, I'd be looking. I won't, but if you want to, those lows for a long today, and those highs for a short. If you can get to 150 ADR, that'd be a good short. That would probably be an RSI extension as well if it was to get up there today, but it's not going anywhere. No opportunity. So whipsaw on the DAX so far. So there's absolutely no reason to take a trade from middle of a range, yeah, because your odds are dramatically reduced, yeah. If you've got a range in play, yeah, so that sort of area, So you got this range basically that's formed. If you take a trade from there, your odds are, every time you take a trade, obviously your odds are 50-50. It's going to go up or it's going to go down. If you take a trade from the middle of a range, it's just a 50-50. If you take a trade from the top of a range, you've got potential limit order triggers to drive the price back down again. So although your odds are still the same, it's either going to go up or down, it's going to break the range or it's going to stay in the range. The odds are you've got more people potentially on your side to help the move start. So taking a trade from there is pointless. Taking a trade from there or there, assuming we're going to go range bound, is a good idea. So wait till you get down to there or up to there on the pound yen. Drop down to M5. Wait for that reversal alert to kick in. And take either the short or the long. Apart from that, it's not going anywhere. DAX is also not going anywhere. No volume today. Morning, Burke. Morning, Thobeka. Morning, Colonel. Morning, Brian. Somebody contacted me by email last night about a strategy, which made me think of you, Brian. This is why I'm saying this. That some guy makes. I've got to look it up. Apparently, it's a range breakout strategy. Tim emailed me. No, wasn't Tim. Someone else. Where's that gone? Kirk. Guy called that's bloke Master MAS7ER. Someone else mentioned him before. You should. I thought it was just a YouTuber. It's not. He's got a course he's selling, I assume. Join the academy, yeah. Patreon based. Okay, so he's just selling courses. So it's another bloke selling courses, basically. But apparently he's got a strategy which relies on the daily range or inside daily range breakout, which is basically just Larry Williams's work, which he's ripping off, basically. So monitors the first hour of the Asian session, the London session, and the New York session. So it's London breakout variation based on Larry Williams' inside bar breakout. I didn't really read the email in detail, but someone else is just trying to replicate someone else's strategy, basically. Right, there's your 5-minute opening range. So I'll leave that. But how's the euro doing today? Which is why I was looking at this. 4-hour range break is there. That little red line. And why am I hedged on this? I am hedged on this. Both ways. So yeah, basically, first 4-hour candles not really gone anywhere today, is it? Nice tight range though. So if that does rally today, be a good one. But it's not really going. Nothing's going anywhere, is it? Look, just flat. Market's dead. One of those days today, I think. Morning, Sabucio. Morning, Bella. Is Harry and Meghan breaking up? I don't know. How would I know that? They don't even live in the UK anymore. They're nothing to do with me. I don't know why. They had an argument. Morning, Franco. Morning, John. Morning, Baggy. I would like to know how you manage with your monthly bills when you quit your day job to focus on trading. Kajien, weekly range extension. Because it looks like it takes some time before one can be a profitable trader. Yeah, so basically, I covered this yesterday, didn't I? Or was it the day before? Somebody asked about this, about giving up their job. If you're going to give up your job to become a full-time trader, you basically need to have a minimum of 3 to 6 months money in the bank, plus your trading balance. Yeah. So, for example, if you need to earn $3,000 a month, dollars, pounds, whatever your currency is, yeah, you need to have a minimum of 9 to 18K in the bank. Yeah. And whatever you're going to trade with. So if you want to earn 3,000 a month and you're going to return roughly 10% on average a month, you need a minimum of a 30K trading account. So to start as a trader full time, you're going to need 48K in the bank. Yeah. And if it all goes belly up, then in 6 months' time, you'll be going to get a job. Or if you blow that account before 6 months, you'll be getting a job sooner. Think of it as an investment. If you want to learn to become a brain surgeon, you need to spend 7 years and a load of money going to university to become a doctor, to then progress your career up to be a brain surgeon. If you want to become an airline pilot, you need to spend £100,000 and multiple years of your life learning how to fly. If you want to become a solicitor, you've got to do the same thing. If you want to do any job in the world, you've got to train. Training costs money. No, you're not going to just pick up a chart in MT4, put a couple of indicators on it, and suddenly earn a Lamborghini. It's the same thing. It's a job, like any job. Just you work for yourself, your own hours, and you decide how much you earn based on your skill set. That's it. So you got to have money in the bank. If you want to start any business, if you want to go and start a shop on the high street, you're going to need 50 grand in the bank. You got to get the shop rent for a year. You've got to fit the shop out with all of the stuff you need in it. You've got to buy all your stock. You've got to get your website up. You've got to get your marketing in place. It's a business, same as any business. You need money. You need capital. If you haven't got capital, you can't become a trader. You can't open a shop. You can't become a pilot. All the same thing, isn't it? Tony, I see the Transparent Trader has a new video out. I'm just filling at the moment, answering questions because we're not going anywhere. Market's dead. There's nothing else to look at because I've done all the analysis because there isn't any. Apart from that pound CAD RSI now. That's the only one left. Transparent Trader's got a new video out, 90% win rate mean reversion. I've watched it. It's all on the day. Tony, I can do everything. The Transparent Trader stuff is great. He's really good, Jared. I like his stuff. Everything he does is based on Larry Williams and other successful traders who are investors on the daily time frame. You'll find him very, very rarely talking about anything below the daily time frame. Why? Because that is the time frame that works the best. But you're going to need a big pot of cash to make money out of it. Because if you're going to trade the daily time frames, you're going to get into a trade and you're going to be out somewhere in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. One trade with one risk reward. Very, very, very hard to make money without a big pot. If you've got £500,000 in the bank daily, if I had £500,000 in the bank, I wouldn't touch any time frame lower than the daily because I can get massive strike rates on the daily charts. But you also need a lot of time and money. So on a daily time frame, I've got a few strategies on the daily which have got 60 to 80% strike rates, but they will take 4, maybe 8 trades a year, right? So think about it. If you put 5 grand on one of those trades and it takes 6 weeks to play out and gives you a 7 to 10K reward, no problem. But you've got to be able to wait that long. You've got to have a big amount of cash. If you've only got a 3 grand account, you could over leverage it, but it is going to lose money. So your chances are, if you put a third of your account into it, if you had a 10 grand account, you put 3 grand on a trade and that one lost, you've got 3 grand less. You got to put 3 grand on the next trade. That one loses. You've got 1 shot left. You could do that, but there's all sorts of ways of making money, isn't there? Some of them are more risky than others. But yeah, that strategy that Jared's got is, I think it's one of Larry's, or is it someone else's? I can't remember. I have watched it. It's all the same as his other stuff. It's good. Watch it. You'll learn from it. But you won't be able to execute it unless you've got a big pot of cash. Colonel Pinecone, spill the beans. What beans? Harry's trading has been going terribly. Megan is worried. Harry, are you in here? You never know. He watches YouTube. He's down with the kids. 90% win rate. Position trading is pretty typical. Yeah, position trading, 90% is, I'm not 90% because I scale out too quick. But yeah, you could be. Basically, all the strategies that Jared does, I've got some of, a lot of Jared's strategies you will find are either what's called an always-in strategy. I've got one, actually. I put together for a guy who emailed me in Telegram, who messaged me in Telegram. Where's it gone? Which one was it? I've got to clear this up. So his strategies will be something along these lines. Basically always in type strategies. So basically what it will do is it will get you into a trade, and you will exit on the opposite signal. So like a Bollinger Band, it's on every tick. One sec, let me just switch that. So a kind of Bollinger Band based strategy or an RSI based strategy. Funny enough, Larry Williams used RSI a lot. But those sorts of strategies, so it will get you in, yeah, there, and it will get you out on the next reverse alert, get you in on that reverse alert, get you out on the next one. It's going too fast, isn't it? Stop. Right? So always in strategies, yeah, get you in on a signal and they get you out when the opposite signal happens and they flip you short. This guy was using pending orders, the guy that sent me messages about this strategy. But so those are the types of strategies that he uses. And if you do this on the daily chart, it's very, very successful. But imagine this being the daily chart and each of these being a month. You can see how long, right? You go long there. 1, 2 and a bit months, you exit on the opposite position with that much profit. And the trouble with always in based strategies on the daily chart is you will take a loss after a 2-month entry when you get an opposite signal to flip the other direction. And you've waited 2 months to get a loss. So what do? How do you pay yourself? You don't. It's an investment strategy. Everything on the daily is investment. It's very hard to make a living out of the daily time frames, as I said, without a massive pot of cash. If you get 3 trades suddenly in 1 month all come to fruition that give you a 2R, that is your quarter's salary. It's a completely different way of looking at it. Get this one here that took a short. This would be much better if it didn't have a pending order on it. I've never really looked into always in strategies, to be honest, on the market reversal at CA, but somebody's doing it. So I put together the set file for them. And it did actually produce profit. There you go. So look, so we get in on that reverse alert. Yeah, we get out on that reverse alert, ever such a slight profit. We get in there, we got out on that reversal alert. Yeah, so nice profit. So it's basically just playing the swings, isn't it, at the end of the day? This is what it's designed to do. Yeah. Nice profit, nice profit. Little profit, little loss, nice little profit. Little loss, nice profit, nice profit. That's a nasty loss. Yeah, so I mean, it works. But this is on the hourly time frame. I've no idea what this will do. Let's leave it running, see what it does. But if you run this on the daily time frames, because the movement of price is so much more stable and so much more reliable, and signals are so much better, you get a much better result. So 4 hours, Jared's done a little bit of work on the 4 hour time frame, which is good. Look at that. Oof. Not letting you have this set far. So yeah, he's done a bit of work on the 4 hour time frame, but you know, from his own admission, he has a portfolio of strategies with lots of different diversity within the strategies and the instruments that he trades, but they're all higher time frame. Yeah, they're investment based strategies, which is good. Nice profit, bit of a loss there. See, that's the problem. That buy order taken there, that exit. There's going to be some big losses in it. There's another big loss. Still profitable, but you are going to get the odd big loss with it, especially with the market reverse alert CA. This isn't the best. I don't think this is the best indicator to use for an always in strategy. Your better indicators to use are things that measure like the RSI, relative strength, or Bollinger Band based mean reversion indicators. This is a signal indicator, so you're better off using a market condition indicator for always in based strategies. Those buy orders that it gets screwed up on. That's a lovely trade, look. But you get the idea. So it's one of those, basically. %2 drawdown. Well, so basically, I don't know what this is getting in with. It's a $4,000 account. It's trading 0.01s by the looks of things. So it's done $96 drawdown and made $228 in February to November. Keep that one secret for myself and develop that later. Right, Dax, what are you up to? Nothing. Still hedged. Not going anywhere, is it? Load of rubbish today. Megan should leave before Harry blows his accounts. How long does it take to become a train driver? Not long, but they earn a lot of money. Well, I don't know, actually. Let's look. Let's find out. They earn a fortune, don't they? 12 to 24 months. So, sorry, 12 to 24 months to become a train driver. I think we've had this conversation before, haven't we? Haven't they just got a handle? Faster, slower, faster. Or am I reading a little bit too much? It goes on rails. You haven't got to steer it. Or literally all you've got to do is control the speed of it and stop when you get to a station. It takes 24 months to learn that. Really? I'm pretty sure I could get in the cab of a train and make it go forward and backwards. You watch, I'm going to get a load of backlash from train drivers now. It's a very technical job. Health and safety and all that. But yeah, they earn 60 grand or something, don't they? See, even to become a train driver, it takes 2 years. Why do you think you can master this in any less time? You can't. Very complicated job. US dollar CAD, I'm in very small shorts just to keep me awake. Yeah, at the moment we'll be hard pushed to do anything today. Market's done it this week. A lot of this stuff hasn't moved this week, but I mean, I think the market's a little bit tired. It needs a break. How do you get MT4 to do that thing you just showed? What did I just show? So I don't know what you're talking. Do you mean the strategy tester? This, what are you talking about? This is the strategy tester. You don't know about the strategy tester. Go and learn about the strategy tester. It's the most important part of MT4. If ever you're going to trade any strategy, you've got to test it. That's what you use. If that's what you're talking about. On that always in trade, have you tried it with RSI, as in RSI 75 and out? No, I haven't. You can't do it with the market reverse alert CA. It doesn't do that. You could do it with the market reverse alert CA on M5. You'd have to. You probably could, actually. You'd need to use opposite signal. And probably a higher time frame. Probably daily, the hourly. I'm just trying to think on the cusp here. We used a daily RSI. Probably need to go quite fast on that 7. Let's use a 6832. That'll probably work. Let's try it. Turn off. Let's give it a go. See what it does. We're bang in the middle on the US indices. I assume the DAX is doing the same thing. Yeah, it's pushing up again. Okay, so short, out. Did I set higher time frame to true? Because that looks like it's taking way too many trades. I haven't, have I? No. Help if I set the filter, wouldn't it? Okay. Have you heard of Derek Vanderlinde? He uses the Traders Dynamic Index. No, never heard of him. Dean Malone invented the Traders Dynamic Index, and the Traders Dynamic Index is basically just an RSI. I use the RSI. That's why this is called the RSI TDI dashboard. That's why I named it. That's why I named it. I called it RSI dash there, but this is a development version, but it's called the RSI TDI dashboard because it's basically the TDI. It's the same thing. It's just an RSI with a load of extra indicators added to it. So, why is this not X? Oh, because we're not exiting on the opposite direction, are we? This is the thing. Yeah, I don't think this will work. Because we've got to wait for the RSI to be extended to the opposite end. And if that happens now, it's going to take a loss. I don't think that filter will work. And I think you'll experience some pretty hefty drawdown. One to test. It's not only that. I'm a pilot, and it's not only autopilot. I know about flying. I can do flying. Flying is infinitely more complex than driving a train. Surely. For a start, you've got and that in a plane. On a train, you've literally got that. So the complexity of a train and a plane are very far apart, aren't they? This is why I'm struggling to figure out how it would take me more than a couple of days to understand how to drive a train. I'm pretty sure I could get in a train simulator right now and after a few hours practice, get it right. I don't know. Maybe I'm overcomplicating things. However, if you got into Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm talking about not reading a manual and just trying to figure out all the controls and how it all works, you're going to be there for a while. Anyway, we won't get into that because there's some train drivers are going to come and give me a load of hate now. What was that about secret strategy you'll develop later? I'm not telling you, secret. I'm going to release it as a secret strategy, and nobody else knows it apart from me and one major bank. It's the secret sauce that banks use to make money, and I can't tell you about it. But for $1,000, I'll let you in on my private inner circle. My cup of tea, reversal alert triggered, and was in the kitchen. That'll work. Jamie, it's 1 month training to learn to drive a train. The remaining 23 months are on strike. Yeah, that's about right. I'm trying to take my kids to London over the summer holidays. Just, you've got to literally plan it day by day. It's a nightmare. You never know when it's going to happen. Lots of things to learn. Yeah, there's lots of things to learn in everything. I'm using a signal service. Not to trade, but to see why so-called professionals see a particular direction. Good insight sometimes. The thing, Franco, with using any signal service and why somebody sees a direction is that they will see it based on their strategy. I will see the opposite based on my strategy. Hell, on the US dollar Swiss at the moment, I'm going both directions because my strategy has told me to do both directions. I don't know which one's right. The signal service doesn't know which one's right. And if they're using anything to base a directional bias on it, they have no idea if it's right or wrong. A squiggly line on a chart telling me that this is coming down doesn't mean it's not going up today. Yeah, yesterday, this thing for the last, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks roughly has been a sell. Everybody that bought it there made money there, and there. And everybody that bought it, well, everybody that's position trading that bought it there, and there is also making money. I'm making money buying the crap out of something that's been collapsing for 3 weeks. Doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything in this industry. There's no indicator that's got any use whatsoever. And I sell indicators. So yeah, for me to say that, you know, it doesn't. You can make money flipping a coin, but the best way to use a signal service, in my experience, is when they tell you to go long, go short. Try it. It's a little bit like retail sentiment. Everybody is selling the Swiss yen. Like they are selling the crap out of the Swiss yen at the moment. They're all wrong. Same as a signal service. Would it be fair to say all your strategies are now fully tested? No point in testing them. Well, my strategies are, yeah. You can test them. I would test every strat. I would never trade anything that I haven't tested. Test it for yourself. Just because I say something works doesn't mean it does it? I'll use what my mum used to say. If I told you to jump off a cliff, would you? If I tell you the market reversal alert CA will make you a millionaire, will it? What about pound CAD? So again, same with all these pounds. At the moment, I'm long based on the H1 RSI extensions. So I'm in there and I'm in down here yesterday. We got nice divergence, bullish. We got lovely propulsion gap targets to the upside, although that one is the only one I would really be interested in at the minute. In fact, I need to move my TP on that second position. Yeah. So that's where I'm going, which will be a 50% retracement, but we need some pound strength to do that. And after the CPI figures, I think the pound's going to find it very difficult to get any momentum. DAX is breaking long, I think. Yeah. So the pounds are all, for me, the pounds are all bearish at the moment because of that CPI number. We haven't had anything come out from Bailey yet to confirm forward guidance on interest rates. So we're expecting a 0.25 instead of a 0.5 now, which again will be bearish for the pound. So it's probably more of a sell than a buy. But obviously you can still buy in at a downtrend, because obviously it's got a mean revert as it goes down in market structure. So yeah, I'd just be, anything you buy on the pound, just get out of it. You know, let's say you normally go, I'm not getting out with less than 1% or 1 ADR in profit. If it was the pound, I would say maybe try and get out with 0.25% to 0.5% of ADR or profit. Just get out faster, because I think you'll find in something that is got potentially is going to go into a strong trend, your pullbacks are going to be shallower. So you'd need to be getting out a little bit faster. If you're going counter trend, you always want to be more cautious. Weekly range on the US dollar yen. A lot of movement on the yen today. A lot of weakness. Got out of my yens on Wednesday. New Zealand dollar yen pushing up. So lots of movement on the yen. How did you start programming in MT4, MT5? Just did. Basically. I was already a programmer. So I moved my skill set sideways, if you like. Can I compare your settings on the RSI dash? Because I can't. Can't that pound CAD on I got empty, no signal? Oh, settings you want to see? So those are my settings. So I'm using the, on the hourlies, sorry, on the 4 hourlies, I'm using the 14 median. On the hourlies, I'm using the 21 median. You have to study to become, you have to study the mechanic. Oh, the mechanics, etc. We're talking about train. Oh yeah, that would make sense. So if to become a train driver, you need to understand the mechanics of how the train works. That would make sense, because obviously that's not going to be a push that forward, pull that back to go faster and slower, is it? Sign me up for the source. I am SAS stewardess, Bella. I don't even know what an SAS stewardess is. Does the SAS have stewardesses? Yen's going nuts. Pound yen, Swiss yen, ADR. New Zealand yen flying up. Look. Loads of weakness in the yen all of a sudden. Bank of Japan is said to view keeping easing as important amid progress. Still likely to discuss yield control change if there's no tweak. Bank of Japan is said to reach a final decision after viewing this week's data. The market not liking that. News on the yen. I got out of my yens. This is the trouble with the yen at the moment. I really haven't got no buy. I don't know which way this thing's going to go long term. So I'm kind of staying out as much as I can, unless there's a really good signal. But hard. This is what I mean about, right, this is a really good example of the pound at the moment, I think, is bearish. When you get something that is incredibly bearish, like the yen has been, if you're in it and it's expected to go in that direction, the pullbacks are always going to be a little shallower, which is why I got out there on it, because I didn't trust it. So, you know, if you get into something like, for example, if let's say I was in short on the pound right now and I'd been buying it, selling it like that, I'd have much more faith in that, not only getting back to my initial entry, but going beyond it, because the pound is expected to be bearish. So it gives me the confidence to hold it longer. We see little need to act on yield control for now. That's Bank of Japan again. So, yeah, just be careful with the pounds, basically. Not going to help them at all. So US dollar yen back, basically, potentially back up to 145, and we'll see what the Bank of Japan does there. See if they look to do an intervention. They're basically stabbing themselves in the foot, I think. in a minute, but who knows? Have you stopped running your H1 hedge set file? Nope, that's still running. I think it's done about 7% or 9% this month or something. Wait for that to load because it takes ages. Have a look. Train drivers on average earn 3,190 more than doctors. That's ridiculous. This is why the doctors are on strike and the consultants are on strike. It's nuts, isn't it? Average median annual salary is 55 grand for a train driver. Doctors' average pay is 51. So we pay people to drive trains more than people that operate on our bodies. Crazy, aren't they? Morning outro, Astro even. Euro yen break it yet? We've looked at that. Trade opposite. Yeah, that's what I found. Trade opposite. Yeah, so trade opposite to signal services, make more money. Peter, yeah, sorry settings, that's weird because I got exactly the same but still have no signal at all, but looked at my demo on different broker and there is. Yeah, so but your RSI settings will be different. Your RSI reading will be different if your broker's candles are different. The main difference you will find on a broker is the swap. So if you look at a New Zealand dollar pair, like pound New Zealand, at the swap, you will have big candles, usually. Bad example, pound New Zealand at the moment. Let's look at CAD maybe. Euro yen, all ADRs on the ends. Be careful, don't try and mean revert these yens at the minute. I'd wait till you get much bigger ones. So there you go, for example. So that's where the market closed. 5 minutes later, the market opened down there. Yeah. So the actual difference between the close and the open on that day was 23 pips. That's a quarter of an ADR, right? So, and there as well, look, market closed there. They opened the market 10 pips down. So if your broker has got that much difference on that swap and my broker opened up here, your RSI reading, your relative strength for that candle and hourly candle and 4 hourly candle, which is going to be that one as well, isn't it? Is going to be totally different. So where I might get an RSI reading of 75.2, you will get an RSI reading of 74.4. Yeah, I will get an alert at 75. You won't. Nothing you can do. It's your broker's data, which is why, again, I keep saying nothing is exact in this industry. Your charts, your support resistance, your readings on your indicators, they're rough. It's this is extended. If it's not extended by 75.1, I'm not taking a trade. Just take it, right? But the EA, like, for example, the market reverse alerts EA, it won't do that. It has to be exact. So I may get into a trade on the market reverse alerts EA on a 75.1 reading. You won't get that trade taken because yours is 74.4 or whatever. Yeah. So that's the difference. And it's basically broker data. So trade your charts, trade your portfolio. You are in what you are in. I am in what I am in. We are not going to be the same, but we're going to be roughly around about the same, aren't we? So you're never going to get exacts. ADRs. Some people get ADR hits and go, why is yours not got an ADR hit? Because my broker didn't spread by 30 pips. Yours did. Or my broker did spread by 30 pips and yours didn't. Different. So you just got to eyeball stuff. CAD yen. So that's basically every yen pair now, apart from the Aussie. So CAD yen, Swiss yen, Euro yen, pound yen, sorry, New Zealand yen and US yen. It's not every yen pair, ignore me. The Aussie yen, New Zealand yen and US yen haven't hit yet. They will. This is a nightmare today. This DAX, all indices, basically nothing going on. So we're broken long, stopped out on the short. So if we can get up to there today, I would be happy taking both trades off up there today. I think that'd be a result if we can get a run up to the highs. That's literally all it's going to get, I think, today. for this session anyway. Keith, any ideas what just moved the market? Yep, we just looked at that, didn't we? Bank of Japan. Just announcing basically yield control, basically. So it's negative yen, basically, is all you need to know. It's just they're just saying that they're not going to intervene very much in movement at the moment. At the moment, that will change when they get back up to 145 on the US dollar yen. So the hedging set file is this one. So the hedging set file's done 15.6% this month, sitting in 14.86. So yeah, nice return this month. Very nice. 15%. Always got drawdown. This one, obviously, it's hedging, so it's always in drawdown. That's what hedging is. You're constantly in both directions, which means you are constantly wrong on one trade. So you're always going to be in drawdown, bigger than normal. This is why I don't like this. It's a great, I mean, it's a lovely, profitable strategy. I'm a little bit too risk averse with my money to trade it. But I mean, it's regularly returning very decent profits. I'm going to run this over a period of I'm going to just keep this running because I'm curious to see what it manages to do over a year. Obviously, whether it survives drawdown or not, I'm not intervening with this at all. So it's doing everything on its own accord. If it survives the year, it's highly likely it's going to more than double the account. So good little strategy, but it does a lot of drawdown. That's H1. ADR reversals not doing well this month. 5.7% loss. But then again, H1M5 made a 4% loss last month. 20% plus this month. You know, it's horses for course. Swings and roundabouts. Last month was tough. Very tough. What's that? H4 mean reversion, 4% down. But, you know, this is H4 is going to struggle in these market conditions. It's not the right time frame for these market conditions. H1 is. Next month, H4 might be the better one. You know, you don't know. This is why I've got all these strategies, because you need to be able to adapt and switch between them. But you want to stick to one, really. Stick to the H1, because the H1 is much more controllable and reliable. And easier to get in and out of because the swings are faster. So that's what we want. We want to get in and out as quick as we can. Train drivers, and they got free travel. I know. Good, isn't it? Free travel as well. Dentists, 200,000. The average family doctor's salary in Canada is around $216,000. Yeah, see, this is the problem. But the average... Have you got a national health service in Canada? Because this is, in the UK, we have the NHS, the National Health Service, where we get everything for free. I know in America, if you break your leg, you got to go and pay for it. We don't. There's a difference, yeah. A lot of our private doctors, if you're a private doctor in the UK, you're earning £250,000 plus. No problem. But if you're an NHS doctor, you're not. You're earning less than a train driver. This is why we're having strikes, because they're quite important. If I go into hospital, I want to make sure there's somebody there to sort me out, because it's life or death. If I'm getting on a train and it turns up late, oh well. So why pay the train driver more than the boat that's going to save my life? Doesn't really add up, does it? 125 CAD yen on the weekly. So we're above ADR, and weekly range 125. So that's from that low to that high. 300 weekly range. There we go. Kansas City drug dealer salary, 89,000. Pharmacist. Oh, okay. I was going to say, only 89 grand a year for a drug dealer. I'd want to earn more than that if I was putting my life on the line, as in probably life on the line and potentially getting nicked to be in prison for the rest of my life. Maybe a blender day, I think it will be. What is that? What is what? I've got to catch up on chat faster. What is that? Oh, were you talking about the strategy? So that's the, on the VPS, that is the H1 hedging strategy. On this one. There we go, just got out the CAD yen, look. 16% on the month now. So this basically, all this strategy does, uses the market reverse alerts EA, obviously. All it does literally is it gets in on the 1 hour time frame when there's a reversal alert. Yeah. So there's no other rules. There's no RSI filter settings on this. Yeah. It literally gets in with 0.2% risk based on half an ADR. Yeah, I'm just trying to remind myself. So it gets in with 0.2% risk per trade, half an ADR stop loss, which is obviously then removed because it's a position trading strategy. And that's it. That's the only filter. You're literally getting in on the hourly time frame. So it's kind of like an always in. The one we were looking at before, it's kind of like an always in strategy. It will take trades in both directions. But it uses obviously position trading with a lot multiplier of 1.3. So it slightly increases the lot size as the move pushes against the trade. It gets in half an ADR apart as a minimum. Because it's trading the hourly time frame, you're very rarely ever going to get a reversal alert within half an ADR anyway. So that doesn't really affect the results at all. So it gets in basically pretty much every reverse alert you get on the hourly and scales into the move. It closes everything out when it's half an ADR in profit. So as soon as we've got half an ADR's worth of pips in profit, it will shut the whole lot down. And it uses drawdown control on 1.5 ADR. So because it's on the hourly time frame, we don't want to do drawdown control too quick because we're not going to get into trades particularly close together because we're on the hourly time frame rather than M5. So you need to do your drawdown control a little bit slower. So when the market moves 1.5 ADR against the position, it will close out 1/3 of the position. Again, designed to bring the average down. And as we're using a lot multiplier, that average keeps nice and close. So we're only looking for us to move half an ADR above the average price to shut the position out. Yeah, very similar to what I do, but it's the same strategy, really. It's just not using an RSI filter. And it's trading the hourly time frames. That's what it does. It's a position trading hedging strategy on the hourly. It's a variation of the one that's on the it's a variation of this. So this is one of the strategies I teach in the bootcamp, the hedging strategy. So this one is an M5 hedging strategy. So what this does is it uses the RSI filter to get into trades on the 5-minute time frame. So it trades a reversal alert on the 5-minute time frame, but it only takes a trade when the RSI is extended on the 5-minute time frame. So this is exactly the same strategy on the hourly, except it ignores that. We're not using that. Because to get a reversal alert on the hourly, you've had a good strong push anyway. So it's kind of taking this and moving it up onto the higher time frame that this would normally be trading anyway. To be able to get an RSI extension on the 5-minute chart, you would have usually had a big move on the hourly. So all we're doing is we're moving all these trades really up onto a higher time frame. Easier, faster to test, and a little bit more reliable because it uses the hourly. But the downside is you will always be in drawdown, obviously, because you are always in both directions. So therefore, whichever way the market goes, you're going to go into drawdown. All you do is you're waiting for those swings to get you out of the opposite direction. Yeah. and it's trading every single instrument as well. And it's a little bit over leveraged, to be fair. You know, we're trading with 0.2% risk on 28 Forex pairs. Yeah, you get a squeeze on something, this thing's going to hurt. And to be honest, it's been through every squeeze so far. It's survived Aussie New Zealand, it's survived all the yen squeezes, and it's banking money. So it survives. But that drawdown figure, you'll see up at like 30, 40%. I haven't looked at it for a while, actually. It's probably been up higher than that, to be fair. I don't know. Backtest it. They're all on the website. They're all in the Telegram channel. The set files flying all over the place. I really ought to organise them a bit better. Canada does have national health, does it? Yeah. Blimey. So they've got an NHS service and they managed to pay their doctors £250,000 or dollars. Pretty good. Going to take a quick look at pound US dollar. Yeah. The DAX is just not doing anything today. I've got a feeling this might be a double-ended stop out today. Rubbish. Pound US. So long on the pound US at the moment. One of those is a manual I took yesterday. Which of those was a manual? That one. Just going to close that out. So I took a manual trade yesterday here because it was on the cusp of where I wanted to get in from that position. But I was worried the EA wasn't going to take it. But the market pushed down further. The EA got me into one. So I'm just closing that one out because obviously I don't want two positions that close together. I just want one. So the EA is now taking that position. So I'm long at the moment on the pound US. Again, it's not one of those trades I'm particularly confident with. I'm going to put TPs within ADR up at that high. Obviously, looking for them to come back and retest propulsion, but obviously on that propulsion move, the sellers added twice. If they get back there, they're probably going to add again. So I wouldn't want to try and push it further than that at the moment. We've got a fairly strong US dollar. We've had a fairly strong US dollar and Canadian dollar yesterday. And obviously we know now with the CPI figures on the pound is dropping. So we've got to assume that this will continue to the downside, I think. However, they will want to come back up and retest that area at some point, probably from a bounce down here. So if we get another rally back down to ADR and down into that weekly low, or potentially here, we might get a double bottom bounce again. We've had the reversal alert. I'll get out. All these pounds, just be careful. Just try not to get in too close together, and don't over leverage yourself, don't overexpose yourself on them, obviously, but get out fast with them. Don't get greedy. We know that 90% of the time propulsion gaps will be retested. That's their purpose. That's why they're there. All these are done. Yeah. But there will be some orphaned ones. And when you get a strong change in fundamentals, as we're potentially having with the pound, you will get some of these left behind. So obviously, as we push down and make new propulsion gaps, I'll be moving targets down to make sure I get out of these. But yeah, pound US dollar extended on the hourly. You've got nice divergence. It's bullish. We're coming into potential support area. We've got propulsion gap where the move started, that we may find some buyers try to defend the area. There's lots of pluses coming up. And then obviously we've got all this potential previous resistance, which may well act as support off of this area as well at 125 ADR. So there's plenty of bounce points coming up. It's just how much bounce we get as to whether or not we get an exit this time round, or we have to wait a little bit later. Sibo, I'm trying to load the support resistance propulsion gap targets demo, but it doesn't really work. Nothing happens after pressing the demo button on MQL5. Demos are for the strategy tester. You can't put them on your chart. They're for using in the strategy tester. Yeah. And to be honest, I have never tested it in the strategy tester. I don't know if it even works. there. Probably does, but you don't need a demo of it. Look, it's very simple. What it does is it draws monthly and weekly support and resistance zones on your chart. It draws propulsion gap targets. It puts that up there. It plots your trades for you automatically. That's what it does. You don't really need a demo of it. It's more of a utility. It's not a system or a strategy. It's a utility. It helps by automating all this stuff that you would have to do manually. So it's not a system. So you don't really need to test it. You either want it or you don't. One of them. Morning, Hot Gator. Brian's triggered short on Euro US dollar. Total whippy today. This is going to be a double-ended stop out today, unfortunately. I had to have a losing day at some point. Maybe it's today. We've had some massive, massive wins with the ORB strategy this week. So market giveth, market taketh away. So yeah, downside target is in this propulsion gap. 125 ADR. We're going to need some strength on the US dollar, and we've got no news today. So we might get a pop off the CAD retail, which will rally the US. But other than that, market's just going to move where the market's going to move today. US dollar will also power up off the back of yen weakness. So we might find that we get a US dollar rally today based off that that news we've had on the yen. Not at the moment moving very much, but obviously the yen is, but it's slightly more bullish than bearish. Franco, good night. Getting jet lag hanging out with you. Okay. You can go to bed. And don't forget, this is recorded. And on YouTube immediately after I finish. So you can always watch the replays. You don't have to stay up all night, Franco. Morning, Leo. On the week, the DAX gained a mere 0.2%. Yeah. So the DAX, obviously, at the minute, this week is total sideways. Yeah, the range high, range low this week is there. Yeah, I mean, we haven't gone anywhere, have we? If you look at all the US indices alongside it, they've all rallied dramatically off the back of the stock moves that we've had. But NASDAQ, total opposite. It's all. This is why it's so important to understand what happens in earnings fortnight. Yeah, today we've got Intuitive Surgical after market, and then we've got Amex and SLB pre. So there's not a lot of stock movement today, but yesterday we had Netflix and Tesla and IBM fall out. And then going into next week, we've got everybody. We've got Google, we've got Microsoft, we've got Visa, we've got Facebook, we've got Coca-Cola, Chicago Mercantile Exchange, we've got Boeing, AT&T, Ford, Intel, Roku. It's just a massive one next week. Next week is the biggie. And even the week after, we've got some massive names in there. So this is earnings fortnight. Earnings fortnight really is considered that week and that week. This is the pre-mover. So all the sector purchases and everything will probably start next week. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But at the moment, it's a mixed bag. Very, very mixed bag. 125 ADR on the pound yen. Very difficult, all the markets at the minute, index-wise. There you go. Right. I haven't got anything else to cover today because it's flat as a pancake. So the only thing moving is the yen. And obviously with the RSIs, we've got a few RSIs there, but yen-based, US dollar yen, CAD yen, and the Euro CAD has just hit as well. That's just popped back down into the 70 level. And obviously we're coming out. I'm already long on that from there and exited all the shorts yesterday. So looking for a move back up. Haven't put TP on that one. TP up there. So yeah, there's nothing much else to cover today, so I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back this afternoon for the US session. Obviously, we'll see what happens this afternoon. Judging by the way that the DAX has opened this morning, we might well have a quiet one in the US, but we'll see what happens. The US markets are moving pretty well at the moment. So there's a fair bit of movement going on. So we'll see what happens. But as we know, with the opening range breakout strategies and the opening strategies, it's hit and miss every day. So we will just play it by ear. What demo funder are you using? Demo funder? What's a demo funder? You mean prop firm? Prop firms are, sorry, funded account demo. I'm not using a funded account demo. But if you want one, I don't think any of them do them. In futures, you can get a demo with Top Step. I don't think any of the prop firms offer a demo. I don't think. I might be wrong. That's what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. Broker is Robo Forex. But the prop firms I use are My Forex Funds, E8, and Take Profit Trader for futures and Top Step for futures. I'm switching over to Top Step for futures. I don't trade futures very often. It's not my main thing. But oh, this is a demo. Wait, so you mean demo account? Yeah, this broker is Robo Forex. This is Robo Forex. They're not a prop firm. That's a broker. Yeah, this account is a demo with Robo Forex. Yeah, FTMO offer a 2-week demo as well. So yeah, FTMO from a prop firm perspective is, yeah, they will, I think, do you a demo on prop, but that's not what he was asking. He was asking about what this account. This is Robo Forex. This is the broker. Yeah, this is the broker that I use for live trading as well at the moment. But I've got broker accounts with I don't think there's many brokers I haven't got an account with, to be honest. But I only trade live with two actually. I trade with DOW and X as well, but that's for a different strategy, which is an investment strategy. ADR 125 CAD yen. This yen's going nuts. I'm totally flat on the yen. Although I think I maybe will be getting into some shorts on it today. Yeah, we are extended. So I'll be getting into some shorts on the yens today. Try and do a little mean reversion on these. Swiss yen 150. Well, they really don't like this news, do they? Really don't like this news. So 150 Swiss yen. Is that strong Swiss franc? Weak Swiss. No, strong Swiss franc. A lot of Swiss franc. Yeah, a bit of strength coming through on the Swiss franc as well. A little bit stuck on that US dollar Swiss, but big moves on all these yens. So all of these are going to be ADR reversal opportunities. So if you want to drop down, wait. I mean, the reversal alerts at the moment are actually, that one's there. That's not drawn properly. That's your 5-minute reversal alert on the pound yen. So there's that's not a bad short, actually. If we do get some yen strength coming through, that's probably the one that's going to drop the hardest. So yeah, some good opportunities basically on these yens potentially for mean reversions today. So all look like they might be pretty good entries. They're all fairly tight at the moment, so just wait for some strength to come through. But obviously you are, bear in mind, you know, this is moving off the back of that announcement, so this could well continue for a few days. So just be wary. I'm a bit skeptical about the yen at the minute. I'm not sure exactly what that's doing, where it's going. So I'm going to be a bit careful with it. You're going to get RSI extensions on all these as well. Look, US dollar yen's extended. New Zealand dollar yen's halfway up. Pound yen is about to get extended. Euro yen's about to get extended. Swissy is also there. CAD is extended already. So the CAD and the US dollar yen will be entries today on the H1 M5 mean reversion strategy. The others, we'll see what happens. So you've got ADR reversals and 2 potential H1 mean reversion opportunities. Do you trade gold? No. Don't trade gold. Euro yen 150. Yeah, I think you might struggle to get into these today. I would hope we see some US dollar strength off the back of this move. Doesn't seem to be doing a lot at the minute. The market's just not doing anything, is it? It's just doing anything today. Right, I'll be back this afternoon. We'll see how we get on this afternoon. Obviously, see if we can get some movement happening somewhere. So at the moment, we're just stuck sideways. DAX is a double-ended stop out. Well, it's not actually yet. Still in it, long, but it's, you know, if this low holds, if I can get a break even today, that's what I'll take. So break even for me will be there. Yeah, so price gets up to there, I can wipe out that loss that I've taken on the short break. So that is probably what I'll do today. If we can get a break even on it, take it and be thankful you got a break even. All right, I'll be back this afternoon with Trade US. If you need anything, come in Telegram. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Have a good day.